A month ago, news of Microsoft withdrawing its AI team from China became a hot topic. Reports indicated that Microsoft's AI team in China will be relocating abroad. Employees in Beijing and Shanghai received emails inquiring if they would be willing to move with their families to other regions for work. Microsoft, which has operated in China for over 30 years and employed more than 9,000 people as of last year, 80% of whom are in R&D and engineering, now shows signs of shifting operations to Southeast Asia, especially in key AI departments. Breaking news reveals that Microsoft's core AI team is leaving China. This move affects over 430 employees, representing 4% of Microsoft's China staff, who are being relocated to the US, Australia, Canada, and Ireland. Employees were given until June 7th to decide whether to accept the relocation or stay in China. While Microsoft labels this as a routine internal adjustment, the situation seems tied to the US-China tech war. Having worked at Microsoft for a decade and served as a talent advisor, I believe more AI teams will gradually exit China, intensifying talent competition. Microsoft's decision to relocate its core AI team from China was foreseeable, as China's AI development is out of sync with the global pace. Earlier this year, while AI in the United States advanced rapidly, China's Cyberspace Administration issued a directive that Chinese AI must align with its socialist values. Leading global AI technologies such as OpenAI and GenAI either do not operate in China or are blocked by the Chinese firewall. As Microsoft is a major shareholder in OpenAI, continuing AI research in China became untenable. Last month, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella announced plans to invest $2.2 billion in Malaysia and Indonesia over the next 4 years to build cloud computing and AI data centers, providing AI trainings for 200,000 people. By 2025, Microsoft aims to create 2.5 million AI-related jobs in ASEAN countries. These opportunities could have belonged to China if not for recent policies deterring foreign investments. On Monday, Microsoft closed all its physical stores in China. Microsoft is neither the first nor the last to exit. Giants like Qualcomm, Micron, and IBM have also chosen to leave. A few years ago, many were complacent, thinking that no one would forsake the market of 1.4 billion. Reality, however, proved otherwise. Consider Samsung, which dominates the global phone sales but overlooks the Chinese market. Apple's supply chain is in China, but its headquarters remained in the US. Google has left long ago. While some say China has Huawei, Xiaomi, Alibaba, and Tencent, these companies are not yet leading the next era of AI. Clinging to the belief of exchanging market access for technology may only result in more dependency. Microsoft's departure serves as both a wake-up call and a clarion call. Years ago, 95% of iPhones were made in China by Foxconn, a major Apple supplier. Since Foxconn invested in Zhengzhou, Henan in 2010, it once accounted for over 80% of Zhengzhou's export, bolstering Henan's foreign trade for more than a decade. However, Foxconn's export data has plummeted by 58% in Q1 2024. According to Zhengzhou's customs, export fell from 16.88 million phones in Q1 2023 to 6.64 million in Q1 2024, and export value dropped from 71.1 billion yuan to 27.2 billion yuan. Foxconn's relocation reduced Zhengzhou's workforce from 300,000 to approximately 70,000. The once bustling commercial streets in the Yukon new city is now desolate, with many shops closed or up for lease. Nanling Foxconn, once employing 50,000 staffs, is now nearly empty after shifting operations overseas. 富士康一走也带走了几十万人的饭碗。 Foxconn's exit has led to significant job losses, impacting countless families and associated industries like food, entertainment, services, and lodging. The first quarter has shown that Henan's foreign trade export dropped by 23.4%, with a reduction of 10.24 million phones and 43.9 billion yuan in export value. Do you remember how the keyboard warriors reacted when Foxconn said they were leaving before? They said, just leave quickly. Life continues fine without it. Indeed, life has continued, but Zhengzhou's Foxconn industrial chain has collapsed. Not only are over 200,000 people facing unemployment, but countless families behind them, as well as surrounding industries like dining, entertainment, services, and accommodations are all affecting to varying degrees. At least tens of thousands, if not millions, are now facing issues related to their livelihoods. Though Henan or Zhengzhou won't collapse without Foxconn, it prompts a reflection on why things reached to this point. While some argue that the core principles are non-negotiable, it is hard to see how Foxconn has threatened the national security. Could we have found a win-win solution to retain them? After all, stable employment ensures societal stability. What could be more important than people's livelihoods?
南宁富士康真的要搬走了吗？
Is Foxconn really leaving Nanning? The signs for the Foxconn Commercial Center have already been taken down. Last month, they were still there. Now they're gone. Everyone knows that Foxconn's starting salary during the probation period is 2160 yuan. After becoming permanent, overtime is paid at 1.5 times than the regular rate, approximately 20 yuan per hour, and double on the weekends, about 27 yuan per hour. On public holidays, the rate is 40 yuan per hour. The overall monthly salary ranges from 4,200 to 4,600 yuan, paid on the 11th of each month. On weekends and holidays, salaries are paid in advance, which is a good practice, and no fees are deducted from employees. They are guaranteed 1 day off per week, with at least 4 days off per month. A friend mentioned that the bridge gates at the Foxconn Commercial Center have been blocked, and employees no longer use this exit. The number of employees has significantly decreased, with only 3 or 4 factory buildings are still in use. The remaining buildings are either empty or rented out. Over the past few years, Apple has invested $16 billion outside China, urging suppliers to follow or risk losing orders. Luxshare Precision, Apple's main earbud manufacturer, is moving production to Vietnam. BOE, a display supplier, invested $400 million to build new sites in Vietnam, while other suppliers like Henshuo, Ranbao, and Gertec are also establishing plants there as well. In 2023, Apple assembled $14 billion worth of iPhones in India, doubling its production share to 14%. By next year, a quarter of Apple's products will be made in India, with iPads, Apple Watches, and accessories shifting to Vietnam. Some nationalists dismiss this, claiming Huawei is sufficient. However, they fail to grasp the massive impact Apple's supply chain has on China's employment and economy. Apple's move can significantly influence the global status of many cities. Without Foxconn and Apple orders, some second and third-tier cities could see their economies collapse overnight, leading to massive unemployment. Apple's supply chain and ecosystem provide over 5 million jobs in China, equivalent to a large city's population. The loss of these jobs would affect millions of families, causing severe social upheaval. In a large city here, the total population, including men, women, and people of all ages, equals the entire population of Singapore. In China, cities with over 3 million people are already considered large, and there are only 21 cities with over 5 million people nationwide. When we talk about over 5 million workers becoming unemployed, it's not just about the immediate 5 million affected individuals, but also about tens of millions of people and their families. Therefore, when the vast majorities of these 5 million people face unemployment, the social upheaval it brings to the Chinese society is immensely significant. These nationalists fail to consider that foreign enterprises in China employ Chinese workers and pay taxes to the Chinese government. The mass exodus of foreign companies results in significant job losses for Chinese citizens and triggers a chain reaction, as these large corporations rely heavily on Chinese suppliers. When these businesses leave, the suppliers also suffer. Those calling for foreign companies to get out of China likely do not realize they are undermining their own and their compatriots' livelihoods. Foxconn, the primary manufacturer for Apple, has finally been driven out by such sentiments. Are you satisfied now? It is truly unfortunate. Despite any shortcomings, Foxconn provided jobs for many uneducated workers. Each job at Foxconn supported numerous families. While Huawei makes excellent phones, it does not offer the same employment opportunities for those without formal education. Can Huawei provide jobs for these individuals? Can it even consider them? Can you earn a penny from Huawei?
你能赚到它1毛钱吗？